त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला
Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to tonight's Sahaja Yoga Meditation and program. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we will go through a process of explaining a little bit about Sahaja Yoga, showing you a little bit about the diagram which is behind us, about our subtle system. We'll go through a realization process, and then followed by a little bit more of explanation about Shri Mataji and a deeper meditation, and something that you can practice at home when you are trying to do that at tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening, time of your choosing. So you'll finish up tonight's program with a bit of a clue about what to do by yourself. And also there will be another meditation. And if you have any questions, hold them for now. You can message, and we have lovely tech people sitting here who will, and we will respond to your questions later in the program. So I'd like to welcome Madhav, who's joined us tonight, and he's going to talk a little bit about Shri Mataji. So welcome, Madhav. Nice to have you.
Nice to be here.
So I was wondering if you would introduce Sahaja Yoga and Shri Mataji, and just explain a little bit to our participants here as well, a little bit about Sahaja Yoga and Shri Mataji. We often talk a lot about our subtle system, and we talk a lot about the meditation, but what about a little bit more about the person behind, teacher behind this?
Sure. So if it's your first time here, you won't know this, but for any people who've been here before, this might be familiar to you. What we're going to do today is practice Sahaja Yoga, and really that means we're just going to try and get thoughtless. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to, you see there's a chart behind me over there, and it has a little triangle at the base of someone's spine of the drawing. And there's a little kind of squiggle in there. That is our mothering energy. And we're just going to try and raise that mothering energy right to the top of our heads to where a multicolored flower is. And in that state, which we call thoughtless awareness, which means being aware but thoughtless, we'll get into a nice state of meditation. And where the theme for today comes in is the person who invented, I guess, this type of meditation and allowed us to do it en masse and do it with people who aren't physically present.
Because if I remember, in the olden days, you could get your realization, but it was very hard to have a special teacher. And if you were selected by that special teacher, then you could get your realization. Whereas these days, it's not the case.
I mean, I wasn't around in the olden days. So I'll take that on notice. But yeah.
That's how it has been. That's what Shri Mataji talks about, how you needed a special teacher in those times. Whereas in these times, the current times, she gives the realization en masse and straight away.
I think that's really important, is that you turn up and in the first 15 minutes, you'll get your realization and you'll hopefully be thoughtless and have a sense of peace and have an experience. And that's really important. Everything else is just building on that. But that first 15 minutes, you get everything really. And so I guess we can just start with who is Shri Mataji, because a lot of people be hearing the name and we haven't actually put a name to a face. So if you look at the chart behind me or the little photo behind me, there's a picture of a lady, and that lady is Shri Mataji. And if you're from India or you know a bit about Sanskrit, you'd know that Shri Mataji really means mother. And it's a respectful term for mother. So Shri is like saying, what's a good example of Shri? What would Shri mean in English? Like Mr., but more important,
respectful.
Like Ms. or Sir, like if you're a knight. And G is another term of respect. And her name is actually Nirmala Srivastava, and she was born in India in 1923. And she was very involved in the Indian independence movement. And then she went to medical college, and then she got married and had children. And then in 1970, when she was 47, she thought that there must be a better way of helping people. And so she sat on a beach in Gujarat and she developed this type of meditation. And I think that's probably enough talking from me. And maybe we should let Shri Mataji all help us
go through the realization
process and get thoughtless.
Yeah. So for this realization process, we request everyone at home to please take your shoes off. You can sit comfortably wherever you are. It's doesn't matter if you're on a chair or a floor, but just take your shoes off. That's useful. And we will have Shri Mataji taking us through realization. So basically, she'll get us to put our right hand on the left side and just go through the actions with Shri Mataji. And it's in English, so it should be fine.
Now, put your left hand towards me, comfortably. Put your feet apart from each other. And now, put your right hand on your heart and close your eyes. Here you have to ask me a very important question. In your heart, you ask me a question as you would ask a computer. You can call me Shri Mataji or Mother, whatever you like. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question. In your heart, not loudly. 3 times, ask in your heart, not loudly. Mother, am I the spirit? You have to only ask in your heart. If you are the spirit, you become your own guide, you become your own master, you become your own guru. So now take down your right hand into the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. And here you have to ask another question 3 times, not loudly, in your heart. Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own master? Ask this question 3 times. Am I my own master? I have told you that I respect your freedom and the pure knowledge cannot be forced on you. So please take your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen and say it 6 times, asking me, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. I cannot force on you. You have to ask in your free will. As soon as you ask for the pure knowledge, the Kundalini starts moving upward. So now we have to nourish the higher centers with our self-confidence. Raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen. Press it hard on the left hand side. And here with full confidence you have to say 10 times in your heart, not loudly. Mother, I am my own master. Please say this 10 times. Mother, I am my own master. I told you at the very outset that the greatest truth about you is that you are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not these conditionings, emotions, nor this ego, but you are the spirit, you are the pure spirit. So now raise your right hand onto your heart and ask here, or say with full confidence 12 times, Mother, I am the spirit. Just say it without any hesitation. Say it 12 times, please. For your information, you have to know that the divine power is the source of knowledge, is the ocean of knowledge, is the ocean of love. It is the ocean of peace and ocean of bliss. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. So you cannot commit any mistake which cannot be dissolved by the power of this ocean of forgiveness. So please raise your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder. Push it back as much as possible and turn your head to your right. And with full confidence, please say 16 times. Full confidence in your heart. Mother, I am not guilty at all. All right? As I told you before, that you have to forgive everyone. And those who say it is difficult, they must know that it is a myth whether you forgive or don't forgive. But if you don't forgive, then you play into the wrong hands and get yourself tortured by yourself. So please forgive. In general, everyone, not counting how many people you have to forgive, what you have to forgive, but just say, by raising your hand and putting it on top of your forehead across, putting down your head as much as possible, resting on your hand. Please say, with an open heart, please say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Please say it. Please say, otherwise it is difficult later on for me. I have to clear out everybody's agya and it takes too much time then. So best is to say it from your heart. After all, you are not going to miss your self-realization for that. Now, take back your right hand on the back side of your head and put your head on it, resting on it, upward. Here you have to say for your own satisfaction, O Divine, if I have done any mistakes, please forgive me. But don't feel guilty. Don't count your mistakes. Don't think about them. In general, you have to say, O Divine, please forgive me if I have done any mistakes or anything wrong, anything against you. Now, stretch your palm. Stretch your palm and put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your child. Now, put down your head properly. And here, push back your fingers as far as possible. Please push back. This is very important. And now put a pressure on your scalp. And move your scalp slowly, 7 times clockwise. Here again, I respect your freedom. And I cannot force self-realization on you. So here you have to say 7 times, bending your head properly and pressing it hard, moving 7 times. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Please ask 7 times, please.
That is such a strong experience to witness that realization given to us by Shri Mataji. And this is how she would do it. She traveled all around the world. Every couple of days, she was in a new place and she would have thousands of people waiting for her. And she would go through this realization process. One of the things you may notice, and we might just do that now, is if you just bring your hands up a little bit and close your eyes just for a moment and see how you feel on your hands, on the palms. We're looking for a very gentle, cool, breath-like sensation or breeze on the palms of your hand. You may also feel it on the top of your head. And what happens is, as the Kundalini rises and she awakens the chakras within us, each of those chakras is connected to our fingertips. And this is how we feel the presence of our Kundalini and her awakening within us on our fingertips and also on top of your hand. So if you just bring your right hand, place it on top of your head, and now just lift it up a couple of inches up high and see how you feel. You're watching the palm of your hand. And for those of us, if you feel very gentle, cool breath like air, cool air, that is the Kundalini and her presence within us. And if you do happen to feel a little bit of heat or tingling sensation, that's okay. We will take you through a clearing process. In fact, I was going to ask Madhav if he would take us through that, by which you're clearing your subtle system within yourself. And you can do that most evenings after work, and perhaps even in the morning before you begin your meditation. Before we do the clearing, would you like to talk a little bit or explain to our participants here about the importance of being in thoughtlessness?
Okay, so I might just take a step back. When I mentioned earlier that we're trying to get that little squiggle in that triangle to rise to the top. When we do that, it passes through 6 energy centers, which are represented as little almost flowers or circles. And so when we say chakra, we're referring to that. So you can use chakra energy center depending on what you feel. And they're rising along that central white line, and we call that the central channel. And when we're feeling things, as you said before, depending on what things within us need to be worked out. So like, for example, I am right-sided. And by right-sided, I mean I'm very active. And that means that my very active side, the right side, I often feel heat. And that's what we mean when we say when you feel something, you're just feeling what within you can be worked on or improved or changed or whatever. And that feeling is really important. So that means you're feeling something, and that the Kundalini, which is that little squiggle, that central mothering energy within us, is rising. And so we do. Sorry, I've forgotten the question now.
It was about being in thoughtlessness.
Thoughtless awareness. So being in thoughtless awareness or thoughtlessness means that the little mothering energy within us is right at the top of our head. And because it's at the top, it's passed through all those energy centers, and they're all working and moving and working out and solving issues. And it's at that point that you feel peaceful and calm, and you know that everything is being taken care of. And so you feel an inner sense of security. And I think that's really the important.
True. And that is also, thank you, Mark, that's really good. Also, if I can just add to that, when you get to here, and you put your attention here, and you've come through all the way through your chakras, and when you are not thinking, this is quite important. So the thoughts will come, and you just have to let the thoughts go past. And when you're not thinking, the ego and the superego subside. And when they subside, the Kundalini rises, and that is when our growth takes place. That is when our chakras cleanse and they replenish. And this is where our meditation and our Kundalini grows. So it is really important to come to this area here and then not be thinking. And you don't have to focus too hard. It just happens.
And when you say ego, you mean the active thinking, planning
thinking,
mind.
That's right.
And by superego, you mean the subconscious emotional mind. So feelings of anger and fear and stress, they all recede.
That's right. And would you like to show us how to do that?
Oh.
So what I was hoping is if you show us and our viewers and online participants as well, how to clear themselves at home. A simple way, very easy, simple, how they could clear the left side and the right side and get into meditation.
So if you've attended a session before, this won't be news to you. But if it's your first time, what we're going to do is essentially we're going to do some physical things, some doing things that help us feel more balanced and that help us meditate. And they relax us or calm us down or de-stress us. And so the first thing is for our subconscious mind, for the kind of emotional mind that picks up stress and other people's emotions. For that, we're going to do something very simple, which is we're going to put our left hand on our lap and our right hand towards the ground. And what we're doing here is we're letting the earth element, the mother, just take out all of that emotion and stress within us. So if you want, you can relax and close your eyes and take a deep breath, and you can ask that same mothering energy, which gave us thoughtless awareness and helped us with our realization earlier. Just ask her, Mother, please take all the excess emotion and stress and fatigue or anything like that out of our left side. So that's where it sits, through our right hand into the earth. You can just say that to yourself a couple of times. So that is something that you can do if you're feeling a bit emotionally disturbed or upset or stressed. It's something very quick and easy. And now we're thinking, well, we've done our emotional side, we've got to do our active side. So if you're a runner, or you're very energetic, or if you drink a lot of coffee, you'll find that you get tired or overactive or overexcited. It's very simple. We're going to do the same thing, but opposite. So our right hand on our lap, our left hand towards the air. Yeah, sorry, our left hand behind us. And as before, we can address that mothering energy. We just say to it within ourselves, Mother, please take all the heat out of our right side through our left hand into the air. Please let it be absorbed. And just take a deep breath. Say that to yourself. There's probably one more thing we can do. And happily, it's a thing that we do at the beginning, at the end of every time we meditate. And it's really a short form of that earlier process that Shri Mataji took us through. And it's quite simple. What we're going to do is we're just going to raise the mothering energy from the base of our spine to the top of our head.
Okay.
With our left hand. As we do that, our right hand revolves around it. And we do it slowly. And when we get to the top, just above our head, we tie a knot. So holding that energy center in place. And that's for our own benefit. So we remember throughout the day, we do it one more time, that's where that energy should be. That's where the mothering energy. And you just tie 2 knots. The second time, we do it a third time, we tie 3 knots. And again, anytime you want your attention to be there and you want to be thoughtless, you can do that quickly. And we do one more thing, which is something that we do to give ourselves a protection. And by protection, it also means a clear out of our left and right side. So we get our right hand on our left hand, we raise it over and back, and that's 1. As well as giving ourselves a protection, what we're doing is we're giving ourselves, I want to say, a balancing exercise. We do it 7 times. And I say balancing exercise because we're raising our right to our left side, and we're raising our right side to our left side. I think that's 6, and one more, maybe 7.
And is there a reason why we do that 7 times?
We do it 7 times because there's 7 energy centers, and you do it 1 for each.
Mm-hmm.
But separately, if you're feeling stressed or emotional, you can do it one way. So let's say I'm feeling very energetic, but not feeling very emotional. So I can raise the left side to the right side because I want to be balanced. And you just do that once. And you can do it again. You can do it 7 times. And what we're doing is strengthening our left, pushing down our right. And you can do it the other way.
I've also found sometimes if I'm not feeling enough vibrations in the left hand, the right is fine, but if there's not so much in the left and it's a bit heavy, if I raise the left side and bring it down, that sort of seems to balance out the vibrations as well. So it's sort of quite a good little tip to use where you can just raise the left and bring it down to the right, and it works most days, always.
And it's nice that it's something that you can do actively, because there's a lot of things that you feel, well, what am I doing? And you can do something. And then it's important to just say, well, I've done it, and now I don't need to worry about it, because our focus, as always, is on how to become thoughtless.
And it's quite a simple thing to do as well, isn't it?
It's simple and it's easy and it's intuitive.
That's right. Now, we do have a talk as well of Shri Mataji, and then would we do a meditation after the talk and just to deepen our experience and also see how we feel on our hands. So while Shri Mataji talks, we request everyone here, if you just open up your hands, place them on your lap and watch Shri Mataji. And we'll do a short meditation after the talk then.
You have to know that you all have been seekers before. This is not the first time you have been seeking. So already you have reached a certain state where you feel and you are aware that something more has to happen to you. You are already ready for that. Some of you have really taken birth in this time just for this. So because I do not want to talk of your past is over now. We have to think of the present. One has to know that all of you get realization. Some people have certain problems on their different centers, as I told you. Different type of problems people have. Because of these problems, the Kundalini goes back to its attention, because Kundalini has to look after your problems. She's your mother. So she goes there, attends to that problem, and again she rises. But only thing you have to learn how to make her rise, how to cooperate with her, how to understand your own problem and give additional help to solve the problem. Now you will be amazed that you just get rid of your false identifications with yourself. You become absolutely detached from that, because you start talking in the language of chakras and centers. You start saying that this center is bad, that center is bad, this is not all right, mother, that's wrong with me, that is wrong with me. That's all. You don't say I have cancer, you don't say I'm mad, you don't say I'm egoistical. You just say, mother, this center is not all right, that center is not all right. Depending on the quality of your centers, the chakras, as they are the ones who really are the channels for the energy of God to flow in. Regarding them, you have to be careful. How your chakras are. Are you clean or not? Some of you will find cool breeze flowing all right in the hand. But maybe one chakra is catching. On one chakra you will feel the heat, or you may feel the numbness. You might feel also a kind of a you can say a kind of a tingling on certain fingers. Now wherever there is tingling, you must know there is a kind of a struggle going on between those chakras and the Kundalini. So you should just try to help your chakras to awaken them. And also must know that every one of you are part and parcel of the whole. You are awakened now. You are awakened to that part. And so you have to be more careful. Because if you suffer from some chakra, I can feel it. But if others, those who are not realized, I don't feel it at all. I'm not bothered. There can be any number of devils or anything, doesn't matter to me. But if you people who are realized souls have a slight problem, immediately I know that you have this problem, my attention is diverted to that. So you must understand that the attention is all the time there to look after you, to give you a better guidance. Your spirit is all the time working. But you must learn how to take the guidance from your spirit. That's the main point. So nobody is lower or higher, as he said. I have seen some people who were declared as drunkards, this, that, overnight they are finished. They are perfect people. Not only but very good Sahaja Yogis. So, you see, all these clouds have come on the sky of your being in this lifetime, doesn't matter. Makes no difference. But your past is great, that's shown. So you don't have to worry as to how far aware you are. There's no degree or anything to measure it. You must be all aware already, otherwise you would not come to me, first of all. And to get realization itself is a very big thing. Now there is a very good seeker I know of who came to me, and he got his realization, but he did not feel it on his hand. Because he has a very bad Vishuddhi here. And with a bad Vishuddhi chakra, you may not feel it in your hand, doesn't matter. But you will feel peaceful, you will feel joyful, and you can feel it on your top of your head, or others can feel it. Gradually your fingers will start improving, and they will give you better results. For example, people who do hard work with their hands, also their fingers can be numbed. So we have to use certain methods like looking after our hands. This body now is a temple of God. So we have to look after it in a way respectfully. Not for the way the prostitutes, when they want to sell their body, they look after their body. No, but with respect to our body. We have to look after ourselves in a way that we should keep good health. And to keep good health in Sahaja Yoga, there are 1001 things which you have to know, which is very easy to understand and which will be told to you for no price at all, nothing. It is the divine that is anxious, that you should get it, that you should settle down, that you should enjoy it. So you don't have to be so anxious about it. These anxieties must be given up. Just try to understand your centers. Now many of you did feel the cool breeze, but maybe after some time you may lose it, doesn't matter. You'll go up and down like that, doesn't matter. It does not mean that you have lost it, not at all. Now supposing you try a method, a simple method, that you first put your left hand towards my photograph. Just now you can try. And right hand on the Mother Earth. Let's see. Right hand on the Mother Earth. That's why I wanted to have it in the open, but doesn't matter now. If rain is good for you, for the farmers, let's have it. So now put your left hand like this, and right hand, those who are not sitting can put up like that. Like this. Back. Yes. Right hand like this. Right. Not left, right hand. Right.
On the ground. No, like this.
Backwards, yes, right hand. Now what we are doing, the left hand side power is the emotional power. Now if you have an emotional problem, say somebody has been taking drugs, is a left-sided person. Some drugs are LSD and all that right-sided, but most of the drugs taken to the left side. Gurus are left-sided problem. Most of these problems or mental problems are left-sided problems. But the problem of the intellectuals is right-sided. Futuristic people is right-sided. People who are running the rat race are right-sided. See, that kind of overactivity, that kind of thing. On the contrary, those who have taken to drugs are left-sided.
Thank you, Vara. That was a lovely talk. And Shri Mataji explained everything so beautifully. She talked about clearing our chakras, and she also took us through a short clear out. And our realization is a little bit like a seed that's been sowed and it's germinated. And now how well that seed grows within us is up to us. So we come here in the first time and you get your realization and you're connected and your Kundalini is awakened. How well the Kundalini is nurtured is entirely up to us. And this is where a little bit of meditation at home comes into play, where you find yourself a little spot, you have a picture of Shri Mataji. We use a picture of Shri Mataji because her vibrations are so incredibly strong. It's really easy meditating. A candle, again, the candle is to help us with our thought process because we think so much. The flame from the candle helps to subside the thoughts. So you make a little space and you find a time that is suitable to you. It could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon or in the evening after work, entirely up to you of your choosing, and give yourself a few minutes to sit down, clear your left, clear the right, and then try and come up to the Sahasrara, the top of your head, and not think about it. We might go through a short meditation now, and there's also some really nice music that Vara will play for us. The music is about, in the Indian culture, they have music to correspond to the various chakras within our subtle system. And this particular one is to do with the heart So it's very relaxing, very enjoyable. And what we're going to do is place our hands in our lap and close our eyes. If you wish to keep your eyes open, that's okay too. Just watch Shri Mataji's Bindi, which is very calming, very relaxing. And just slowly close your eyes, hands in your lap, and just bring your attention up, nice and slow, through your body, through your heart, through your forehead, onto the top of your head. That's internally, and externally there's another really easy way. You bring your right hand in front of you on your central channel and just raise your Kundalini a couple of times to the top of your head. Just raise the Kundalini. Let's do it another couple of times to the top of your head. And remarkably, she responds. The Kundalini is our mother. And she's ever so keen to help us, and she does rise. So before the meditation, just do a little test. Place your hand a couple of inches up high from your head and see how you feel. And you can bring your hand down to your lap, and we'll do that at the end of the meditation just to see the difference. We'll just slowly close our eyes, attention on top of our head. And just watch the space on top of your head. You may have thoughts dropping in. And the important thing here is to not fight the thoughts, as well as not engage with the thoughts. So if the thoughts come, you let them come and you let them go by. We just take our attention back to the top of your head. Just be aware where your attention is. If it slips down, bring it back to the top of your head. Remember not to engage with the thoughts. Let the thoughts just slide past. Remember to keep your attention on top of your head. You just slowly open your eyes and look around you and hear the music. You can see what's ahead of you, but you're not thinking, your mind is silent. And that is being in a state of thoughtless awareness where you're aware of your surroundings, but you're not thinking. And that is being in meditation, where you can be in meditation and your eyes are still open, you can hear things around you, but your mind is silent and you're not affected by the thoughts. And now to finish this meditation, we'll go through that exercise again, which is to raise our Kundalini and place ourselves in Bandha. So just bring our left hand in front of us. We'll raise it nice and slow. Bring it to the top of your head. You tie a knot. Second time, it's 2 knots. And the third time, we tie 3 knots on top of our head. And then we place ourselves at Bandhan, starting from the left side over to the right and back. That's 1. And we're going to do that in total 7 times for the 7 chakras within ourselves. Now we're just going to do a little test. So let's just all try. Place our right hand on top of head and see how you feel. Whether there's ever so gentle, cool breath like air, or if you're feeling some heat or tingling sensation. As Shri Mataji talked in her lecture today, that that's clearing happening within us if you're feeling a bit of heat. So that's okay. We'll try it also with the left hand. Sometimes one side is stronger than the other. So just try it briefly with the left hand as well. So our viewers, if you have any questions, please type away, because Vara and Surrender are ready. And we have a few people here who can help us with answers. Padma, if you have any questions, please ask.
I want to make the correct procedure first when I this one.
Mm-hmm.
After how I am doing,
Mm-hmm.
after this some music meditation,
Mm-hmm.
and after that I am closing. And now you have shown now I need to keep
Yeah.
But everything you need to do.
It doesn't have to be long. It can be quite a short process, but it's very good to clear the left and the right. So to clear the left side, the side that needs clearing, hand stays in your lap, and the opposite hand just goes towards the earth. You can do it.
But it's more about how you feel.
Yeah.
So if you feel tired, it's good to put the right hand down, because tired means that there is maybe some emotions that you're feeling, or you're just tired or fatigued or stressed.
Or you've used your left side too much.
You've been kind of in a very emotionally charged, difficult conversation. So if you feel that, or if you feel very hot, you can do it the left hand up. But maybe a good way to do it is, before you start meditating, just put your hands out. And you can sit in front of it. If you've got a photo of Shri Mataji at home.
She does.
Yeah. And then you can just do the Kundalini Bandha. And then you just put your hands out and you see how you feel. If the right hand is hot, or if the left hand is hot or heavy or tingly. And then you go from there. But if it doesn't feel, if you feel calm and cool and relaxed, just go straight to meditation. It's just about you and how you feel.
If you have a lot of thoughts coming, then you can just put your hand here and say, I forgive. So it's see where the problem is and then just work on that one. So work on the chakra that needs
And if
work.
there's no problem, just meditate.
Yeah,
It's easy.
that's right.
But every time, first and last, we need to do this.
Yeah, that's right. Raise the Kundalini 3 times and then you place the bandhan on, which we do that quite a few times. So hopefully you
now
remember.
he has shown that some one side like this, something.
So if you're feeling,
Like
yeah, so if you feel kind of more tired, because the left side is the tired side, you raise the left side up.
Mhm.
And then that means that you're kind of giving it a bit more energy. So all the kind of emotion drops away. Or if the right hand is feeling very hot and your right side is very tired, then you can raise the right side.
oh,
Yeah. And pushing the, sorry, am I getting it back to front?
No, it's actually just raising the left and bringing down. That cools the right side,
Yeah.
as well as it nourishes the left side.
So
So it's
just
one way, but
Yeah.
it works on both
Yeah.
hands. You can try it now. Put your hands out and see how you feel on your hands. If it's cool and both the hands feel nice and balanced, then you're in balance. If you feel one is heavier
very cool here.
in the left,
Yes.
great. And what about the right?
Both hands I'm feeling cool.
Great. All you need to do is attention here and just meditate. That's wonderful, Padma. Really good.
Some
Do we have any questions? Sarah? Looks like everyone's in
That's
meditation.
okay. It kind of, the more you meditate, the less tingling there is, and it becomes easier. And yeah, but again, just raise the left and push down the right. And that's all you need to do. If you need to do it. If you don't need to do it, you don't.
okay.
But tonight it's really good because we are with a lot of people practicing Sahaja Yoga. So the clearing happens very effectively, very easily. And so it's always very nice to feel that lovely cool. So also I would request our viewers online, if you can find out your local areas where they are practicing Sahaja Yoga meditation, please go and visit them, because I'm sure they'd be delighted to see you. And also it's really nice to meditate together in a collective way. It is very special. So we request you all to try and seek out your local collective areas. If there are no questions, there are no questions. In that case, we shall finish the program for tonight. We hope you had a lovely meditative state and enjoyed it. And we look forward to seeing you again next Monday. And Lynn will be back. So look forward to seeing you again next week. And thank you, Madhav, for coming. And Surinder and Vara, thank you very much. And lovely to see you all.
Or are they going to have some music?
Just the music.
Is there a theme you need to tell them about for next week? Or?